Episode 2 of Dr. Stone starts off with a flashback from the previous episode, and I didn't really appreciate this at first because I couldn't really tell where they were going with this, and it just felt like filler until we catch up to where they left off with Senku reviving the bird. And then there was a line right here. I did like hearing that line again because I didn't catch it the first time, and it's Senku saying, "I'm going to beat fantasy with science." Hearing it again made me think maybe it's supposed to resonate with the overall plot here. The part of fantasy could refer to petrification because it's still an unknown mystery of what happened, but Senku's science is helping him fix this mysterious problem. So now that the experiment worked on the bird, Senku gives Taiju the choice of reviving whoever he wants. Of course, Taiju wants to get the girl revived first. So I'm thinking, how's this happening already? The intros and the outros are spoilers, so I know he's not going to revive her right now. I mean, you see all these people running around in the intro, but the girl's still turned to stone and being protected like a statue. Senku mentions how he tested the nitric stuff on a shattered corpse for science. I assume it was a bird corpse, since they were censoring a small object. So while Taiju's stalling the process with nonsense, I'm just wondering what the hell's gonna happen if he's about to revive the girl, but at the same time I know it's not really gonna happen. Then suddenly lions appear, sending Taiju and Senku running for their lives. As we learn Taiju can't fight, the pieces start coming together, and now I can see they'll have to get the primate dude to help them out, using the only stone cure they have on him. Soon as he wakes up, this composed badass asks for a situation report. Then, all of a sudden, I'm like, what the hell? Barehanded Tarzan taking down lions? I thought he'd go back and grab a spear. I think they showed some earlier. Turns out he just had to take out the head lion so the rest of the pack would retreat, asserting himself as the dominant animal. And to top things off, after all this, it turns out he's a peaceful man. He feels bad for killing the lion, vows to make use of his remains. So now that he takes on his role of the new muscle in the group, this crazy guy's hunting boar just by running them down and tackling them, spearfishing aggressively, catching birds with his bare hands, jumping out of trees. So then what the hell's Taiju supposed to do now? Then it began to make more sense when I saw them collecting seashells. Even though it seems like Tsukasa could be doing this, maybe faster, Senku starts talking to him about the calcium carbonate, so I figured Taiju might be a better balance of strength and intellect here because he can, follow along with Senku's conversations, to some degree at least. So then here we're name dropping the title when Senku says calcium carbonate is the Dr. Stone. Because of the soap, they can use the soap to keep themselves clean and not get sick. Not die from getting sick so easily. So does this mean it's going to be a central plot? Tsukasa does say something about nobody owning the seashells. Senku doesn't want to say what the fourth purpose is in front of Tsukasa. He said there's 4 purposes to the seashells, but he only discussed 3 of them. So I'm guessing it's a weapon, since we see him building a crossbow. I'm still wondering, why doesn't Senku trust Tsukasa? I mean, he seems legit. And then, all of a sudden, oh, I see. So, are they gonna fight or get along? It'd be nice if this turned into some kind of fighting-based plot or a war of resources. Either way, I like what this is turning into. Things are getting more serious now that you've introduced a new element of conflict. It's not just man versus his environment. They kind of left us hanging, so I'm like 50-50 on whether or not they'll work together. I like how there's a clear distinction between Senku's relationship with Taiju versus his relationship with Tsukasa. It almost seemed like Senku just had no respect for Taiju, but then you can see he clearly has no trust for Tsukasa, and at least Taiju has that connection with him. But Tsukasa's obviously a conflicted character in himself. He seems all peaceful and loving at first, but then hateful and angry. He mentions his contempt for older people. Most of what he says sounds a little ridiculous and extreme. Even his general point can apply to anyone really, of any age. There's always a chance that someone will want to take over and abuse power. For now, I'll put my faith in Senku.